Do you feel it? Oh, that feels good. Yeah. How we doing? And we are going live there. Let's see how we're doing here. And we are live. All right. Good morning, everybody. It's time to start another live stream and do some writing. Oh, yeah. There you go. Got that there. Hello to Gavin2310. Nice to see you here. Oh, that's going to burn my finger. Let's do this one. Just got to set the mood before I get to writing. Get some nice smells happening here. Hello to Pretty Neat GFX. I'm guessing GFX stands for graphics. So, hello to you. Get this burning a little bit. Does my speaker work today or not? Nope. Oh, it does. All right. So, now I can get to it. I'll do some writing. That's a bit too loud. Calm down, speaker. I don't like that sound. Here we go. Okay, now, I think I'm all set and ready to go. Let's start writing. See what's alive in me for today. Today is March what? March 25th? Sweet Bikini, hello, nice to see you again. I'm happy to see you. I know I got you confused with someone last time, and then I saw their profile. I know they still keep their same name, but you're the second Bikini that I know. Hello, can of internet. It's hello to the whole can of the internet. What flavor of internet is in that can? Or is it the entirety of the internet? Who knows? Ellie the Dreamer, great to see you here. I know you came at the end of yesterday's and I didn't get a chance to talk much with you, so it's very nice to see you here now. Can of the internet, grape flavored internet today. Great. Where's that from? Great. Is that a Chappelle joke? I don't know. It's been a while. Don't watch much comedy anymore. Good to see you, Simon. Hello to everyone. Yes, Ellie, it's always very nice to see you here. Ellie, do you journal while you're here? I know that I think you said you wrote your thesis, or you had to defend a thesis about empathy, or you had to answer an exam. There was some academic setting in which you talked about empathy, and so I'm wondering if you journal as well.
I'm sorry, where is the key for the gas?
So it's underneath the breaker. So there's two
Oh,
boxes there. Yeah, yeah.
No.
Hello to Zinotrabisti. That's a tough one. And hello to Enemy Margaret Ermac. Hello to both of you. Welcome to the live stream today. Dank Cooking over on YouTube. Hello, what's up? And hello to MGX as well. Welcome both of you. What are you up to? Is that an Attack on Titan icon? I'm not sure. And hello to Chababs as well. Yes, hello, Chababs. Hello to Geos B NYC. Pleasure to see you here. Thank you for joining. How do I keep this permanently smelling? It just has a nice smell for a little bit and then it's gone. Do I need like actual incense sticks? Not sure. Hello to Jen G. Dank Cooking says it's from Juju K. Haven't seen it. Haven't watched much anime lately, but cool. Nice to see you here. What does dank cooking mean? Because I know what dank means, at least what it means to me. I don't know what cooking means. So are you cooking with the dank, or are you just cooking while dank? What is dank about your cooking? Who knows? Ellie the Dreamer says I journal too. I enjoy it a lot. Been on and off it since I was 13. Wow. That's a really long practice. Do you still have all of your journals from when you were 13? Have you ever looked back on them? I've been really trying to think about how I could free the ideas from old written journals. And I'm sure that people would be interested in finding a way to kind of like analyze all their data and see how much they've grown from it. But I don't know. Dank Cooking says, my name is Dank, and I like to cook. Lol. Simple enough? It's very straightforward. Love the explanation. Thank you, Dank Cooking. Your name is Dank? That's pretty dank. Cool. Mario! Hello, Mario! Mario, it's very nice to see you right now. It's Mario, for those of you that don't know, I worked with Mario when I was in Marbella for maybe like 3 weeks until the project kind of ended. But Mario, I'm so happy to see you. Shouldn't you be working right now? Mario? Mario is one of the nicest, most glowing, joyous people that I've ever met. And Mario is somebody that I deeply miss from Spain. You're great to be around. Jen Uji asks, what method of journaling do I use? So the method that I use is pen on paper most of the time. And so I think you want more answers than that. I pretty much just write all the thoughts that are alive in me. It's very easy for me to write. I don't ever feel stumped with writing because I have so many things that are happening in my mind at once. And so right now I'm just writing about a couple friends that I'm gonna meet up with this week and gonna catch up with them. And whenever I feel stuck or whenever I start, usually, it's mostly just with a check-in of the body. Just see, what is my body feeling at the moment? How is it feeling? I'm in a weird situation today because there's construction happening and they were gonna turn off the hot water at 8:30. And I usually run after these live streams and I realized I don't want to be sweaty and stinking. So I had to do my run in the morning before I had my coffee. And my run was brutal. My God, caffeine is a hell of a drug. What an amazing drug it is. Running with it is great. Running without it, brutal. Absolutely brutal. I was in so much pain, really not enjoying it. And so now I'm just like writing and checking with like, okay, so how does my body feel after this run? How does it feel different? And always make sure that I develop a language and always stay very close to how my body is feeling. And to Kartik Sarin, here for the swearing. Fuck yeah, good to see you here, buddy. I remember you were on Instagram yesterday. I appreciate the views over on YouTube, so thank you for moving over to YouTube, trying to get those watch hours up there. Much appreciated. All right, Amy69 Babes. It's great to see you as well. I'm really enjoying all these familiar names and faces that I'm seeing. It's really nice. Ellie the Dreamer says, yeah, I keep old journals. It feels bizarre to see how much my thoughts worked when I was a teen, right? Much more humor back then, which I'm intent on bringing back in the present. See, I'm glad that you mentioned humor because I was just thinking about the joke for grape. Sugar water purple, that was it. That's what grape is. Grape is sugar water and purple. I forget what comedian that was. But I was thinking for a while about how much I don't like stand-up comedy anymore. I used to love watching stand-up comedy a lot, but now I just realize it's so much violent communication in there and so much judgment and so much lack of empathy. Because I'm so obsessed with empathy, I think comedians profoundly lack it, and they use a lot of judgmental and violent language and a lack of nuance, and it's hard for me to kind of laugh. The only kind of humor that I could really have is when I poke fun at myself. And I don't do that often enough, I guess. But yeah, so I can see that you're interested in bringing back some more humor. And I wonder, has your humor changed because you are very much in touch with empathy as well? And how can humor coincide with empathy for you, at least? Let me know. Jen Uji says, do you regularly reread previous journal entries? No, I don't regularly reread them at all. I haven't looked back on them. I try to, and I remember I had this whole writing system, which whenever I had a really good idea, I pull out my red ink and I'd write it with red ink. I'm like, I can't forget this. Totally fucking haven't read them at all since then. I'm not even sure if those ideas are still useful to me now. And because I know that my train of thought and my values keep on growing as I grow and develop, and so are those ideas really that useful to me? It might be interesting to look back and see where I was back then, but I also kind of remember the state that I was in. The journals that I really have are just, I really started journaling again back in September of 2023. So maybe like a year and a half is when I've become like really, really deep into it. So all of the journals that I used to write when I was in university, get a 300-page book. I'd write 10 pages a day, and at the end of the month, I'd just throw it out. And I have none of those on record, so I have no idea what that's like. But I'll keep these, and then maybe 5 or 10 years from now, I'll be happy to find some kind of application or build an application that could scan it all and find my patterns and show me how I've developed. Yummy Mummy 20, love the name. Says, I have a friend who has a journal. We started when we were teens. Now she just writes 1 or 2 sentences a day and finds it more manageable. Yeah, being able to sit down and write for half an hour isn't really manageable for a lot of people because you got jobs and lives. Like Mario, if you're still there, should be at your job right now, jobbing. Yeah, it's hard. How do you maintain all of the things that you need to do for your self-care while still being a productive member of society. And is society built for us to be able to be kind enough to ourselves, to sleep well, eat well, exercise, and check in on our mental health? It's tough. And on that note, I'm going to say hello to Tilly Mellon and Eddie Lane. Welcome to the live stream. I'm going to get back to doing some writing. Hello to Sabrina78. Thank you for joining. Sabrina78 says, hey, I don't usually catch your live stream because I'm on the west coast of Canada and the time never is good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's, isn't it like the early AMs for you right now? And if so, what are you doing up so late, Missy? Huh? Shouldn't you be in bed? I was actually thinking yesterday about doing another live stream session, not just in the mornings, but one at night. Because I write at night anyways. And so why don't I just do it at, say, like 7 p.m. my time. 2 a.m. Sabrina, you party animal. I wonder why you're up so late. Why are you up so late? Why? Well, whatever happened to sleep? Huh? Sleep is very, very important. So yeah, I think if I do it later in the evening my time, that'll be more manageable for people in North America. Because I think the most people that are watching are from North America. Sabrina says, you can't sleep, the clown will eat you. Ooh, all right. That's an interesting sentence to unpack. The clown will eat you. Is that a bad thing? The clown eat you? Maybe the clown's hungry. You could become a part of the clown, and then you two can clown together and bring joy to everybody's lives. And the more people that the clown eats, it's like, what's that No Face in Spirited Away? Wouldn't be too bad, right? But in case you're serious, then I'm sorry for trying to poke humor. See, this is where humor, Ellie, right? This is where humor doesn't Empathize very well. So that's from The Simpsons. I'm guessing that's is that a Simpsons line? I don't remember. I haven't watched The Simpsons in so long. Is that show still around? Not sure. Kartik Sarin says, question, what part of journaling do I find the most exciting? Something that pumps me up. Love the question. So the part of journaling that I actually love the most is when I step into this room. I can't really show you this room from this angle that I'm in right now, but it's got soundproof foaming like this. Here you go. You got a whole bunch of these all over, like 40 of them, on the walls and on the ceilings and all around me. And as soon as you step into here, it definitely feels different. There's something that feels sacred in this place. It's almost like walking into a church. I love still going to churches, even though I'm not Catholic anymore. But a church is a place where you could really sit and be allowed to be quiet with yourself and just connect with yourself. There aren't a lot of places that are like that, right? Coffee shops are still very, very stimulating. There's lots of people that are walking around. But go to a church and then that's where you could really be with yourself in silence. And so I love stepping into this room and just feeling how different this sounds compared to the rest of my place. And then as soon as I open up a page and I start writing, that first feeling of the scribble on paper, God, it's so lovely. I love writing with pen and paper. I can't really get that much into writing via like computer, even though for most of the writing that I do for work, it's all on computer. I do it right here, but this kind of writing just feels different. It feels nice. And the part that really excites me is when I start really getting into writing. So like when I stop talking and I write, it'll take me a couple sentences before I kind of feel it almost is like the sands of the hourglass just all kind of sucking in. And I could feel all of my attention and all of my body going into this place on the page. And it's just such a great moment of connection and flow with the paper and with myself. And so that's what I find very exciting about this. Hello to Larkir, thank you for joining. Manelli the Dreamer says, so I've thought a lot about humor. I've thought about humor a lot, and there are many kinds that I enjoy and kinds I don't anymore. I'd love to hear what kinds of humor you find that you can enjoy, because I haven't really found many, apart from self-deprecating humor, which I think is important, because I haven't talked about this enough, but I deeply value metamodernism. And metamodernism is this constant sway between utter sincerity and then scathing irony. You can't take yourself too serious like the modernists, because then you end up going to extremes in order to try to improve humanity, like the Nazis. And you can't get too lost in irony, because then you get into this like dark doom scroll void of the postmodernists, which is where a lot of people are right now, just believing that the world is going to end and that everything sucks and we're in this polycrisis. And so metamodernism is this constant swaying back and forth of really being sincere and trying, and then kind of taking the piss out of yourself for a bit and just breathing in and breathing out, rather than one extreme or the other of modernism or postmodernism. And so this is where I think humor works for me, in that sense of irony of like making fun of myself at trying to be too sincere. Making fun of myself about trying to talk about metamodernism in a journaling live stream. So, yeah, anyhow, that was a long train of thought. Being in your love, so Amy says, I bet it's so relaxing to be in the lovely room. Yes, it's not in a scary clam bed, 100%. This room is super relaxing. I keep on adding more to it. I'm not sure if you look back on my YouTube channel, the first video I did back in like early February, very echoey, nothing on the walls really, no books behind me, but I just keep on adding more and more. I got a little typewriter there now, I've got some speaker, I got a speaker, I've got these candles, I've got this yummy smell, so this really feels like its own kind of writing sanctuary and temple. I have no idea how writers can write in coffee shops without being immensely distracted by everything happening around them. So, there you go. And back to it. Oh no, the candle's out. Oh no, now the candle's definitely out. The wick is totally down. Oh my gosh, what a waste of wax. There's still so much wax here. It's almost like a quarter of the wax, but the wick is all the way at the bottom. Anyhow, I'm back to it. I'm gonna feel those sands of the hourglass sucking in right now. And the first sentence is, and how am I feeling? Ellie says, thank you for sharing humor you enjoy. You're welcome. I get fascinated by how some people can make others feel light with humor by just reframing it differently. Yeah, it's very true, very true. Thank you for engaging in this conversation here and helping me vocalize and understand my understandings of humor a little bit more. Hello to Queen Stockings. It's good to see you. Kaz Finn as well. And Felicia, and Matsusha. Hello to all of you. Welcome. Kartik Sarin says, sorry to mess up your flow, but do you write outside of journaling? Yeah, so I do ghostwriting for authors and CEOs and influencers. I'm writing all the time. My whole world is just lost in words relentlessly. So yeah, I do writing, and I also have this smaller book right here, which I use for writing ideas. I usually have this beside the bed if I'm in bed and an idea hits me, like, okay, let me quickly write that down. And I just love to write everywhere that I go. So yeah, I'm always writing, always typing, always communicating. My whole world is just athleticism and words. So there you go. Ali the Dream says, for example, some skilled people can take a seemingly bad situation, turn a 180 into a light joke, and then suddenly becomes less bad and totally durable. For sure, yeah. I'm 100% with you on that. You could always make light of something serious. And that doesn't mean that you're not honoring the seriousness of the situation, and doesn't mean that you're not honoring the challenges that people are going through. But there are many different ways to observe a situation, and we don't have to view it entirely through one lens and one frame. I remember when my dog died, and then we did an Irish wake for him, in which we told funny stories about him, and we laughed. And it's a really sad and serious situation, but you could always look at things from another angle, not entirely only that angle, but you could look at it from different sides and feel it in different ways and get the full breadth of human experience rather than just one side of the human experience. There are many angles of human experience that you could feel, both the joy and the sorrow at the same time, because in the end all things pass, and I'm not sure how that tied in there, and I got a little bit too woo-woo. Let me get back into writing and trying to make sense of this. All right. And back to it. Everybody, it's 9:05 right now, and I usually want to finish this by 9 o'clock and just give myself half an hour of writing. I know it's time for breakfast. My body's feeling it, and I know that my partner also has breakfast ready at this time. And so it's time for me to go for now. I think I'm going to do another live stream tonight. If you're going to be around. If not, I totally understand. You don't have to watch me writing all the time. I just watch myself writing all the time, and I'm going to try to see if there's some people in time zones where they're not up really late at night to be able to watch this. So I really want to say thank you to Kartik Sarin, Ali the Dreamer, Queen Stockings, Amy69 Babes. I really wrote down for a bit there my sense of appreciation of being able to see some familiar faces here regularly, and to be able to connect and have these conversations with you. And you're really making these journaling sessions a lot more enjoyable. I'm not just alone in this silent, smelly temple of mine, but I'm also connected with other people here. So I appreciate that very much. And I'll see you again tomorrow at the same